Are you ready for insane, crazy, and even bizarre places and things in Missouri?
I think I'm ready.
Let's go! What's going on, guys? My name is Jesse Weiser, and I'm a real estate broker here in Springfield, Missouri.
Hi guys, my name is Brandon Zacharias, and I'm a realtor here in Weiser Living Realty in Springfield, Missouri.
And today we're talking about bizarre places and things in Missouri. We got some weird stuff.
It's
Bizarre.
definitely some unique stuff here in Missouri.
Yeah. Also, if you're watching these videos because you want to move to Missouri, this is why we make these videos. Check out wiserlivingrealty.com where you can check out all the houses. We want to get to hear from you. Actually, we have a lot of people reaching out already. They've been emailing us, texting us, calling us.
Everybody just wants to come to good old Springfield, Mo.
It's actually, I've been here my whole life, and it's an amazing place to live. We've traveled all over the United States, but we're really glad that we choose Springfield as home.
Coming from California, I will say it's quite the change, but it's a great change.
We want to get to know you. We want to get to hear your story, and also, potentially, possibly, help you move here. All right, let's get into the bizarre things.
I don't know if I'm ready.
Let's start with the world's largest items.
Okay.
Dig on in, Brandon.
One of the world's largest items that we've got here in Missouri is actually the world's largest 8-ball. Now, I was actually picturing a large 8-ball. I don't know if they would be able to roll it and actually tell your fortune, but turns out it's a large, what is it, water tower. Water tower. This was made in 1968, which was once a Fisher Pool table factory. I'm just trying to think of why would a Fisher Pool table factory be underneath the water tower? That's my question. They built the water tower and painted it over to make it look like an 8-ball.
You know what? If you've lived in Tipton for many years, you let us know how a pool table factory made it underneath the water tower. Put it in the comments below.
I'm really curious.
The next largest thing is a pecan. On the pecan farm of George and Elizabeth James in 1982. There are a lot of pecan farms here as well. They even have the Brunswick Pecan Festival held every October. It weighs 12,000 pounds and is 7 by 12 feet. The pecan moved to downtown Brunswick in 2013 where it remains today.
I'm still impressed by the size of the pecan.
I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's bigger. It's big.
Next up is Maxie the Goose.
It's actually cool.
The way that they made this goose is really cool. I mean, this thing's big.
I got attacked by a goose
in
Doling Park. Lovely place. The goose there, or the geese, whatever. The geese there are ferocious. Still haunts me.
Are you afraid of geese now, still? Maybe.
No.
Well, Maxie weighs in at 5,500 pounds with a wingspan spreads of 61 feet. That's a really big goose.
Yeah, I'm just imagining this building is
That's
not
what I was
even
wondering.
61 feet. Wow.
Dang. Built to celebrate Sumner as the capital of wild geese back in 1974. They raised $16,000 to put her up and $4,000 to paint her. That's quite the goose. Almost golden goose, you could say. They hold a goose festival to celebrate her every year.
Next up is the world's largest chess piece, and it's in St. Louis, Missouri. It's actually a king piece. So of course, if you're going to be the world's largest, you would make it a king. This piece is 20 feet tall and 9 feet 2 inches in diameter at the base. This is right next to the World Chess Hall of Fame. This museum highlights great players, historic games, and the history of chess. There are a bunch of old chess sets you can find. Now what's really cool is right next to the big piece outside is they have an outside chess game that you can play. I mean, they're large too. So if you just want to sit there for an hour and play chess, you totally can.
Are you a chess player?
I can play chess, whether or not well, you didn't ask if I was good.
I just asked, if you were a chess player.
Yes, I can play chess.
In St. Louis, Missouri, they've got a giant pencil, and a giant pair of underwear.
I think we need to use a different word than giant because they are humongous.
These are both at the City Museum, which is an amazing interactive museum and gym. This underwear is 7 feet wide and 6 feet tall. I mean, that's as tall as we are.
I'm just like trying to imagine the man that wears this underwear. Like that he'd have been a big boy.
And the pencil is 76 feet long and weighs about 21,500 pounds. They actually had to cut it in half in order to transport it inside the museum.
I mean, I saw the picture of this pencil and the person standing next to it was like tiny.
Yeah.
Wow. Now I think the most interesting one that we're going to talk about is Leila's hair museum. Do you remember seeing those pictures?
I do remember seeing those pictures.
And you were kind of like, how do you phrase that? You were kind of like icked. Is that even a word? I-C-K-E-D, icked?
Maybe.
You were icked out. Like.
I mean, yeah, it was just weird looking at all this hair that's put into different shapes to make art inside.
I mean, it's not my cup of tea either, but we're going to talk about it because it's so bizarre. In the museum, hair is used to be a valid way to express love, and there was plenty of art made with it. This place is full of hair. They even have hair from Marilyn Monroe, Michael Jackson, and Queen Victoria. There are hundreds of wreaths and thousands of pieces of jewelry. Can you imagine? Like cutting off your hair and making it into a ring and then using it to propose. What? Not that you're, not my...
You're going to tell me no?
Yes.
Next is actually I think it's unique, but really kind of cool.
Bizarre.
Is going to be Mid-Missouri Vacuum in Rolla.
It's an interesting place.
Yeah, there's quite a few vacuums. I honestly didn't even think there was this many vacuums.
And so is it a museum or can you go buy vacuums there?
It is an actual museum.
Oh, okay. This makes a lot more sense.
And repair place.
And a repair place.
This is a vacuum cleaner museum and factory outlet with over 500 vacuums.
How cool is that?
It takes visitors through the history of the vacuums from the early 20th century to today's luxury vacuums, and has novelty vacuums from different areas in American history. Tom Gasco, the owner, has been fascinated by vacuums since he was a kid and studied different models to learn how they worked. He plans to one day have his ashes sucked up by a vacuum he personally designed for Airway. I mean, that's a way to go. Definitely bizarre.
You were saying earlier that this guy you could turn on a vacuum and he would just know the frequency of the vacuum and know what brand it was.
I feel like that this is the type of guy.
I bet. All right, next up is Elephant Rock. Now, I'm going to personally say it that it's like a potato rock. Let's just call it Potato Rock from now on, okay? I'm just kidding. It's Elephant Rock, and it's in Bellevue, Missouri.
Now, is it just one rock? Or
no, it's multiple rocks, multiple potatoes.
Multiple potatoes. You got a little potato farm.
Yeah. Now we're talking about Elephant Rocks State Park that has a reserve of Precambrian granite. Now, these are huge, which is why it's named after elephants. They are pinkish red boulders that were formed a long time ago and stand in a line. Some of these granite boulders weigh over 600 tons and stand over 20 feet tall. They're a great spot to explore, crawl over, and especially take pictures with. I'm gonna call it, there's one picture in particular right here that you're looking at, and it looks like a potato. A great basset.
It really is, yeah. It looks like a giant potato.
But, we'll honor the name and call it Elephant Rock.
This one is actually one that I think is really cool. It is McBaine Burr, the oldest oak tree in Columbia.
Wow.
I love trees in general, and this one looks beautiful. I mean, just look at it. It's huge.
I mean, the Ozarks is known for its oak trees. Oak trees, maple trees, pine trees.
I mean, they're just beautiful. They really are. And I love it when they're turning for fall.
And they take forever to grow. So obviously this oak tree, like you kind of look at it and you're like, okay, it's big, but for the age, like you would think it would be bigger. But really, oak trees take forever to grow. So that's probably the most sturdy tree.
I would imagine, yeah. Locals call it the big tree. I would call it the big tree too. This is a 350 to 400 year old oak tree. The crazy thing is no other tree is within 1,000 feet from it. Oh, so it really just stands alone. That's pretty cool. It has stood against storms, droughts, floods, vandalism, and the progress of humankind. This tree is tied with another in Kentucky as the largest of its species. Its trunk is 278-inch circumference, almost 90 feet tall, with 130-foot spread. It takes 4 men to wrap around its trunk.
Wow.
I'm picturing it in person, and that is a big tree.
Now, if you guys want to check out other Missouri videos, check out this playlist right over here. And when you come and visit Missouri, you watch for deer.
Yep.
Let's go!
You hit that note, I swear.